What is going on, guys? It is your boy Hollywood Steve back with another video, guys, right here on YouTube. Before you guys do anything, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, guys. Really helps out the channel, guys. I'm at like 14 subs right now, guys. Goal is to get to 1,000, so really help me out. Hit that subscribe button, guys, and really help out the channel and help me get to 1,000 subscribers, guys. I really appreciate it. All right, we're gonna dive right in here, guys. So, in case you guys have been living under a rock, you guys know what happened on Friday night on SmackDown. AJ Lee made her WWE return to a huge pop. The roof about came off the building in Chicago on Friday, with AJ Lee making her WWE return. And it was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely amazing. But we're not here to talk about that. We are going to talk about WWE Monday Night Raw. So let's get right into the review. So let's get right into it, my fellow wrestling and WWE fans. Here we go. Monday Night Raw kicked off last night with a recap of Becky interfering at Clash in Paris, followed by the fallout of Clash in Paris and the return of AJ Lee on SmackDown. That was followed by the Usos opening up Raw. We got a recap of Jay getting beat down last week and Jimmy coming to make the save, and the reunion of the Usos. Let's go. The Usos are officially reunited, guys. I am beyond excited about this. I absolutely love this. I am beyond excited. So as Jay was talking, and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed interrupted, as the crowd chanted for Roman Reigns, Jimmy made the official announcement that at WrestlePalooza it will be Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed taking on the Usos. That was followed by a recap from last week of AJ versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship, but El Grande Americano interfered and hit Styles in the chest with the steel plate. Then we got AJ Styles versus El Grande Americano, and after the break, LA Knight was backstage arguing with Adam Pearce about getting at one of the Brawns, and Byron Saxton asked him about said conversation. And then we got the start of the match. And at the start, AJ met El Grande Americano outside the ring before the match even started. And as the match started, the match finally started, as Styles is going for the phenomenal forearm, as a second El Grande Americano ran down and pulled AJ off the ring apron, allowing El Grande Americano to throw Styles knee first into the steel stairs. Styles hit El Grande Americano with an exploder suplex, regaining control. El Grande begged off, and Americano slung Styles into the top rope. Americano hit a blockbuster while walking the top rope. While walking the top rope. Lost my spot here, guys. Hold on, bear with me here. We kind of lost our spot here. Let's see here. So El Grande Americano hit a blockbuster while walking the top rope. Then we had a second El Grande Americano who was at ringside, jumped onto the apron and tried to insert himself. He was taken out off the apron by Dragon Lee, who came running down and hit a Hurricane Rana from the apron. AJ Styles was doing a little trash talking to the second Americano, while the first El Grande Americano that he was wrestling was in the ring. He was behind him, and after an awesome technical roll through, AJ Styles hit the Styles Clash for the win. So AJ picked up the win here. And a pretty okay match. I mean, it was nothing, it wasn't blow your socks off, kind of match, but it was a good match. And then backstage we got Adam Pearce informing EO that Stephanie Vaquero wasn't there tonight, so they had to cancel the contract signing for their match at WrestlePalooza. But he would make sure all the T's were dotted and I's were dotted and T's were crossed, and they would take care of it next week. Then Nikki Bella walked up to congratulate EO on her title match. And as she was doing that, Asuka and Kairi Sane walked up to and Nikki and Asuka went back and forth for a bit. And Asuka challenged Nikki to a match later on. Next up, we had Lyra Valkyria versus Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment Day. Valkyria's high-powered offense was definitely on display here. Raquel caught Lyra as she went for a crossbody. Raquel then wrapped Valkyria around the ring post. Raquel targeted her lower back. Lyra regained control and hit a jumping DDT. Lyra repositioned herself to hit a sunset flip for a 2. Roxanne Perez jumped up onto the apron and got hit with a drop kick, but Raquel caught the foot of Lyra Valkyria in the end and hit the Tejana Bomb for the win. Then Penta was backstage talking to the War Raiders. And then Adam Pearce about how since he's come to the WWE, he has not had a title shot and he wants one against Dirty Dom. This is followed by Rusev walking up and telling Pearce that he has not been sticking to the plan, that being when Rusev returned. When Rusev returned, Rusev beat Sheamus and then gets a title shot. Then Penta and Rusev exchanged a few words, and Rusev said he would teach Penta to fear. Next, we got the video package of the return of AJ. We got, not video package, I'm sorry, but we did get a recap a little bit from Friday, and then we got the return of AJ Lee to Monday Night Raw. And she said it's been 10 years since she stepped in a ring. Or actually, we did get the video package on Raw from the return on Friday. AJ said it's been 10 years since she stepped in the ring. She left to accomplish goals. She had and actually, I am so sorry, guys. AJ Lee cut her first promo this last night on Raw. So she's talking about how, like I said, she's been out of the wrestling business for the last 10 years. She left to accomplish goals she had set for herself and work on her mental health, which is always a good thing. Always, guys. Always make sure that you are in good mental health. I'm speaking from from experience here, guys. Always make sure that you are in good mental health in your life. Always make sure that, always. And so as AJ's, so she's saying she left to accomplish goals she had set for herself and to work on her mental health and to get herself right. Then as she's doing her thing in the ring, she's interrupted by the man Becky Lynch, who said to her give her back the Intercontinental Championship. She did not deserve it. And that she's the greatest of all time according to Sports Illustrated, the Milwaukee Journal, the Chicago Tribune. Becky's just naming off all these places that say, all these publications, and that say she is the greatest of all time. Of course, the crowd is booing Becky like nobody's business. AJ Lee said if she wanted her title back to go ahead and do something to come in the ring and get it, but she would risk another shiner on her other eye if she stepped in the ring to get back her title. Then that was followed by Seth Rollins coming out and telling AJ Lee to just give Becky back her title and that they would get out of Milwaukee, but AJ Lee was not buying it. So Seth gets in the ring to grab Becky's IC title, but AJ Lee steps right in front of him, keeping him from getting the belt. Then CM Punk made his way down as Becky was standing in the aisle and stood right behind her, and jump scared her, which I thought was really good. Then Punk ran into the ring and went to hit a GTS on Rollins, but he escaped and said that if they want the mixed tag match at WrestlePalooza, then they got it. Before that, though, AJ Styles was backstage talking to Dragon Lee, thanking him for having his back during his match, and anything he needs, Styles would be there. Then Jimmy walked up and talked to Styles, but caught up with Jay as he was getting ready to leave, and he said he needs to start looking out for himself, and he said maybe being himself was not working anymore. And Jimmy said to Jay, he's starting to sound a lot like Roman Reigns. And Jay said all he wants is his world championship back, and walked away, leaving Jimmy a little mad and looked a little concerned about Jay's new attitude. Next up, we got Penta taking on Rusev. Rusev pretty much dominated this whole match. Rusev went for a shoulder tackle, but Penta moved out of the way, and he went shoulder first into the stairs. Into the stairs, knocking off the top stair. After an ad break, Penta built some momentum and delivered a handstand double stomp. Then Grayson Waller and the New Day made their way down to the ring, still in black, as they continued to mourn the tag division. Penta hit a tope suicida on Walker and Kingston on the outside as Woods moved to the other side of the ring, so he didn't get hit with the tope suicida. Then as Penta went for a dive to the outside, Rusev met him with a nasty right hand. Penta hit a code red, a version of the Mexican Destroyer, for a 2 count. Penta went up to hit and then toward the end of the match, Penta went up to hit a Mexican Destroyer on Rusev, but as he ascended to the top rope, Xavier Woods jumped up on the apron, distracting Penta, and as he jumped off the rope, he was met with the Mashka kick by Rusev for a 3 count and a win for Rusev. Then Bronson Reed was in the back warming up for his match against LA Knight later on. Then after the ad break, LA Knight and Jimmy Uso were back in the locker room with Jay and LA Knight. LA Knight and Jimmy Uso were back in the locker room with Jimmy saying that he and Jay would have his back. With them having the same issue with the vision, but LA Knight did not want any of the Usos' help, even though he said that LA Knight ate a super kick by accident. Then we got Nikki Bella versus Asuka. After the ad break, Nikki was in control, but then Asuka hit a kick and controlled the match. Asuka picked up the win with the Empress Impact, followed by the Asuka Lock for the win. Then we got the Judgment Day back in their clubhouse, and Finn and JD were talking to Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, congratulating Raquel on her win. And Finn told Perez that he was confident that she will win her match next week. Then Dom walked in, and both Finn and JD questioned where he had been, and he said he's been preparing for his match at Worlds Collide for the Triple Mania Mega Championship, and he said that the rest of them if the rest of them had not been banned from ringside, maybe he would have won, and that him taking El Grande Americano, that him talking to El Grande Americano was a lucha thing, and that they would not get it. Then Dom stormed out of the clubhouse as Roxanne Perez went to go talk to him, and that was pretty much that. That was pretty much that. And then after that, Nikki Bella was backstage after her match with Asuka, and Asuka walked up to Nikki and said that she is the best woman in the women's division, and Nikki gave Asuka a little shove. Rhea Ripley walked up and confronted Asuka and said and asked if she had a problem with both Rhea and Nikki, and Kairi Sane stood there after Rhea said to Asuka, wasn't it her best friend Io Sky challenging Stephanie Vaquer for the vacant Women's World Championship? And Asuka walked away and yelled something to Kairi in Japanese. I love this. I love this. I love this dynamic between Kairi Sane and Asuka. This is just, I love it. I love it. Then we got the main event. Then we got the main event of the night. It was LA Knight, versus Bronson Reed. And at the start of the match, Knight was in control until Reed utilized his power to gain the upper hand in the match. Knight hit a baseball slide to regain control of the match and drove Reed into the steel stairs, but it did not last long. It did not take long for Reed to regain control as the referee's back was turned. Braun Breaker hung Knight up on the bottom rope, throat first. Reed went for the and choked him on the bottom rope. Reed went for the splash in the corner, and Knight moved out of the way. Knight regained control as the match continued. Reed threw LA Knight over the top rope as he was about to hit. As he was about to send Knight through the timekeeper's barricade area. He moved and threw him over the top of the wall, and Knight cleared off the announce desk and hit a splash from the desk to the timekeeper's area. Reed went for a swanton back in the ring, but missed, and Knight hit the elbow dropped for a 2 count. Braun Breaker jumped up on the apron. LA Knight hit him with a punch, knocking him off, but as LA Knight turned around, he was hit with the Jagged Edge Death Valley Driver, and a win for the Auszilla Big Bronson Reed. After the match, the same playbook came out. A post match beatdown, but Jimmy Uso came out, came down to make the save, but got hit with a spear by Breaker as the beatdown of Jimmy continued by the Bronze. Jey Uso came down to make the save for his brother with both Bronze and hit both Bronze with super kicks. They hit both Bronze with super kicks. And then one sending Reed to the outside. Braun Breaker hit Jay with a massive spear as Bronson Reed was going for a double tsunami on the Usos. LA Knight made the save by nailing Reed with the steel chair. As Knight was helping Jimmy up, Jay recovered and hit LA Knight with a spear. And that is how Raw ended. That is how Raw went off the air, guys. Overall, I'm not. It was a pretty good episode of Monday Night Raw. It was definitely I at least thought it was a little better than what it had been had been the last few weeks myself. I personally thought it was thought it was better than what it has been the last few weeks. But probably my favorite thing was we finally got a promo from AJ Lee. I thought this was absolutely incredible. I loved AJ Lee. She was the best. She was the absolute best. She was the Divas, as you guys know, she was the Divas champ. And this is gonna be a fun match, I think, at WrestlePalooza on September 20th. I think it's gonna be a really fun, really good, exciting. It's gonna be a fun mixed tag match. Just kind of something different for kind of something different for Becky and Seth to do. Kind of getting away from the title picture a little bit. I'm excited about. I do want to see AJ Lee go after Becky Lynch on a singles run. Obviously she's going to go on a singles run. This is just going to be a one-time thing. Obviously she's going to go on a singles run. But I want to see her go after Becky and that Intercontinental Championship, and I want to see I want to see AJ Lee be the one to dethrone Becky. I think that'd be so fitting. Because you have two power couples in the WWE. I would love to see AJ Lee take the title from Becky. And I would love to see that match at whatever PLE is going to come up after WrestlePalooza. Don't know if they're going to do anything in October. but I know we have Survivor Series coming up, so I would love to see AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch at Survivor Series for the women's IC title in my hometown, by the way, of San Diego, California, at Petco Park, where my Padres play. That's right, guys. Like I said in an earlier video, Survivor Series is going to be at Petco Park for the first time. It's going to be in San Diego, in a baseball stadium. I am looking forward to going. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. But that is Monday Night Raw, guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know your guys' opinions. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to at WrestlePalooza coming up on September 20th. Let me know what you guys think of the card. Let me know what you guys thought of Monday Night Raw. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Really helps out the YouTube algorithm, guys. Seriously, subscribe. If you guys like all this wrestling news and reviews, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. But for now, guys, this is Hollywood Steve. Saying when you're Hollywood Steve, it's for life.